Narayanam namaste Shaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayet. Before reciting Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto the Nar Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Nashtueshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhakti nashi. Ten in the message and by rendering service is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Gurve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Namaha Pankajanabhaya Namaha Pankajamalini Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you again to all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis for joining. We are reading Granth-raj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 12, Mohinī-mūrti, Bewilders Lord Siva. So, we were discussing yesterday that how Mohinī-mūrti was playing with the ball, and Lord Shiva, when he saw, was completely captivated and wanted to be with that internal energy of the Lord. And this is all under the spell of Lord's energy, Lord's internal energy. That word is important here because Lord Shiva is not an ordinary person who can come under the grip of the illusory energy of the Lord. So it was the Lord's divine plan. So let's see what happens further from text number 25. So we'll continue. We got till text 24 yesterday. Taya prihata vijnanas tatkrita smara vivalaha bhavanya api pashyantya gata hristad padam yayau. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Lord Shiva, his good sense taken away by the woman because of lusty desires to enjoy with her, became so mad for her that even in the presence of Bhavani, he did not hesitate to approach her. Hare Krishna. Of course, as we are trying to, keep Lord Shiva's journey on one side, but the journey of an ordinary soul on totally other side. There is no way any comparison, but there are a lot of lessons here that how an ordinary person, like the interesting thing is that all Lord Shiva's wife was present, and the other Nandi Gana were also present. The other associates were also present because in the beginning of this chapter we read that when he approached the Lord of Mukunda, the Lord's abode, he approached with all his entourage. That means they're all present and they're all seeing all this situation. They were all seeing Pashyantaha. But Lord Shiva was completely captivated. So similarly, in ordinary Jiva is so captivated by the illusory energy of the Lord, like the Ajamil's case comes, that Ajamil had a beautiful wife, had beautiful, wonderful parents, had beautiful culture, but under the grip of that lady, that he ignored everyone else. He kicked out his wife, he kicked out his parents, he started doing wrong things. We also discussed the other day example of Dhanurdas. He could not see the Supreme Lord going under the grip of the illusory energy. He was so captivated. The big, like Jalus in India, they say Jalus, or a big parade or a big yatra was going on, but he was oblivious. Why? Because of losing one's sense to discriminate. Because of losing the sense of right and wrong. And how does that happen? Contemplation on sense objects, dhyayata vishyan punsa, sangasteshu upajayate, sanga sanjayate kama, lust comes, kama krodho vijayate, krodhat bhavati, sammoha, illusion, sammoha, smriti vibrama. One loses one's intelligence, smriti vibrama. Smriti vibrama, buddhi nash, buddhi ka nash ho jata. One forgets what's right, what's wrong. Is it supposed to be done? Is it not supposed to be done? There is no sense of right or wrong. There are 4 types of blind people, and Kamandha is one of them. Kam me andha. Like the example of Silhana Mishra also comes in this category. That how he was so blinded by Chintamani, the prostitute, he could not see the difference between rope and the snake. He thought the snake as the rope, and he climbed up on the terrace to be with Chintamani. He could not see the difference between the dead body and the log of wood. He thought it was a very windy and stormy and rainy night. He he just had cremated or done the last rites of his father, or and the body was kind of floated in the or immersed in the water. The same body he thought that, and a dead body floats in the water. So he thought that this is like a log of wood. He used it to cross that river because there was no boatman at that time. It was a stormy night. To why? Kamandha. Nevam pashyati janmandha. Kamandha eva na pashyati. Arthi dosham na pashyati madon matta na pashyati. 4 types of blind people. Janm se andha. Because of one's past karma, one could be blind by birth. That's not as bad as the other 3 types. Other 3 types are much worse. Kamandha, we just discussed. Blinded by lust. We discussed the example of Ajamil and others. Vilamangal Thakur before he became the great soul. Then Kamandha, Arthi Dosha Napashyati. Blinded by wealth, one does not see whether it's coming from right source, wrong source, gambling, intoxication, lottery, all these bad ways of attaining quick money. Therefore, it's against the regulative principles. No gambling, therefore. And then Madon Mattana Pashyati, blinded by one's own false pride. Like Duryodhana is a classic example. One does not see. One is blinded to see good in others. Because one thinks, well, I am great, mujhse badkar kaun? So in this case, Lord Shiva, of course, Lord Shiva's is Leela. But when men do it, that's not Leela. Shortcomings or which we have to improve. So any other comments here before we move on? Yes, Nandini Mataji, you want to read or share something?
Yes, I want to read, Prabhu. Dandat Pranam. I'll go to Prabhupada. Can you hear me?
Mataji, want to read?
Okay.
Read.
Yes, Prabhu. Satamyanta
Hare Krishna.
malokya.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I think you're on mute, Mataji. It shows you're on mute.
I'm
We can hear Mataji.
Okay.
Maybe
Avivastra vridata brusham niliyamana vruksheshu hasanti nanvattishtata. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The beautiful woman was already naked, and when she saw Lord Shiva coming toward her, she became extremely bashful. Thus she kept smiling, but she hid herself among the trees and did not stand in one place. So here is a vivid description, making us really visualize. And so Lord Vishnu or Mohinī-mūrti is playing the tricks and being extremely bashful, one of the qualities that even would attract Lord Shiva even more. And she's smiling, so who can resist her? Back to you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. I think there was some disturbance on my connection, so sorry about that. So I think Mataji already shared about this verse, so we can move on to the next one. Arun Prabhu, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Taman vangchad bhagwan bhavah pramuchi tendriya kamasya cha vasham nitah karenumiva yuthapah. The translation done by Sri Bhaktivedanta Sri Srila Prabhupada Swami Sri Prabhupada Ji ki jai. His sense being agitated, the Lord Shiva, victimized by lusty desire, began to follow her, just as a lusty elephant follow a she-elephant.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So the example of elephant is in this case very, very particular because different animals have different senses which are more kind of prominent, or there, that sense perception. That in elephant case, the sense of touch is more prominent. In the fishes, the sense of tongue is more prominent. In the deers, the sound. That's how the hunter catches them. He makes a sound. So how do they capture the elephant? So a she-elephant will touch the body of the he-elephant. Now she-elephant has been trained by the trainers, those who want to capture the elephant. And then just imagine, like she-elephant is the male elephant. The she-elephant goes and touches the body and then keeps moving, and then there's a ditch which has been covered with grass. And then she does a turn. She turns, and the male elephant is falling, and he doesn't know about the ditch. He just goes in and boom, falls down. Same way a fish is caught. They put some food on the rod or something, I don't know what, and then the fish tries to eat it and gets captured. Same with the deers are captured by the sound. So now the point is, in humans, all the senses are very, very active. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, you were reading in the past couple of weeks, that we should be very, very, the senses should be engaged in the service of the master of senses. Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Uchate. The senses should be engaged in the master of senses, that's Rishikesha. Then only we have some hope. Otherwise, these are very wild, like wild elephants. Very lusty, greedy. The tongue wants to eat something nice. The skin wants to touch something nice. The ear wants to hear something nice. The nose wants to smell something nice. Very, very prominent. Each senses wants to. But if we let them loose, then they will drag us to degraded situation. The best formula is to engage them in Krishna's service. Then only we have some hope. Like how Ambarish Maharaj engaged. All the senses can be engaged in Krishna's service. Our eyes, our ears, our nose, any legs, hands, etc. Skin, touch, eating. So then we will not be victimized by the desires. But if we don't do so, then, well, Lord Shiva was victimized. Who are we? Hum kis khet ki mooli hai? So let's see what happens. Yes, Raghu Prabhu. And those who have not read throughout this week, please raise your hands. At least everyone should get chance at least once.
Hare Krishna devotees, text 28. So nuvratyaktiv vegena kritiv van nichitam striyam kesha banda upaniya bahubhayam parisasvaje. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. After following her with great speed, Lord Siva caught her by the braid of her hair and dragged her near him. Although she was unwilling, he embraced her with his arms. Hare Krishna. Back to you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. I was just reminded of Damodar Leela in this, where the Lord is running and the devotee is running after him. And the same thing happens there also, right? Mother Yashoda runs with greater speed and catches Krishna. The same thing is happening here. After following her with great speed, so first she runs, she's running. The Lord is, just imagine, Damodar Lila is easy for us to comprehend. This is a little tough to comprehend. So the Lord is running and the devotee is running after him. The Lord will made Mata Yashoda sweat. And who can run with greater speed than the Lord? Can anyone run with greater speed than the Lord? No. She was running with great speed. But when she decided to be caught, then Lord Shiva catches him. Same like how when Krishna Swamatu swin gatraya vistrasa kabarashaja drishtva parishramam Krishna kripaya sit swabandhane. Seeing the hard work of, oh, my devotee Lord Shiva is running after me. He wants to catch me. Let me be caught by him. And then Lord Shiva was able to catch her, his beloved, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in the different form. Ultimately, Lord is not a Lord. In the prayers of Gajendra, it is mentioned that Lord is not a male, female, or neutral. He is above all these. Gajendra mentioned, I am able to recall here, Gajendra mentioned, so whether he comes in the Mohinī-mūrti, he is not an animal or human being either. He's above all that. So whether he comes in the form of an animal or human or half man, half lion or crocodile or bear and Shukara Rupa and Kurma Rupa and Matsya Rupa and all that, Narshingade, he's beyond all those things. So he's beyond woman and man as well. Gajendra speaks in his prayers. So finally, the devotee catches the Lord. We have to run behind the Lord to catch him, like Mata Yashoda ran behind Krishna. Lord Shiva running behind Mohinī-mūrti avatar. Any other comments or additions anyone has? Okay, let's read the next one. Anyone who has not read throughout the week? It's hard for me to remember with 20 devotees who has read.
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mata, please.
Hare Krishna. Text 29 and 30. I need the Sopagudha Bhagavata Karini Yatha Itah Tatah Prasarpanti Viprakirna Sirovaha Atmanam Mochitvanga Surasarbha Bhujantarata Pradra Vatsa Pruthusroni Maya Deva Vinirmita. Translation. Being embraced by Lord Siva like a female elephant embraced by a male, the woman's hair was scattered, swirled like a snake. O king, this woman, who had large high hip, was a woman of Yogamaya, presented by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. She realized herself somehow or other from the found embrace of Lord Siva's arms and run away. Hare Krishna. Back to you.
When the Lord wants to be caught, then the devotee can catch. But when the Lord wants to run away, then who is more powerful than the Lord? Lord Shiva is also an energy of the Lord, or the incarnation of the Lord. So in short, now the Lord wants to run away to do a very special pastime. This is really very, very interesting. The Lord wants to do a very, very special pastime. So let's see, where did the Lord go? Where did Nityananda go? Okay, text 31.
Hare Krishna, I can read Prabhuji.
Yes.
Text 31. Tasya ashau padavim rudro Vishnur adbhuta karmanaha Pratyapadyate kamena Vairinavi vinirchitaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As if harassed by an enemy, the form of lusty desires, Lord Shiva followed the path of Lord Vishnu, who acts very wonderfully and who had taken the form of Mohini. Purport. Lord Shiva cannot be victimized by Maya. Therefore, it is to be understood that Lord Shiva was being thus harassed by Lord Vishnu's internal potency. Lord Vishnu can perform many wonderful activities through his various potencies. Parasya Shaktir Vividaiva Shuyate Svabhaviki Jnana Bala Kriya Cha Svetashvatara Upanishad 6.8. The Supreme Lord has various potencies by which he can act very efficiently. To do anything expertly, he doesn't even need to contemplate. Since Lord Shiva was being harassed by the women, it is to be understood that this was being done not by a woman but by Lord Vishnu himself. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So very, very important point. Lord Shiva cannot be victimized by Maya. Very, very important. So we have to always remember and not think, oh, Lord Shiva is like, how is he running after women? Like an ordinary person running after women. That's not like that. We have to remember who is Lord Shiva. He is the husband of Durga. Right? He is the father of the material world. So he is not a person covered up with the material modes. He is not an ordinary jiva who can be succumbed to the material modes of lust, greed, etc. He is the best amongst the devotees, the best amongst the devas. So he can never be victimized by the Maya Shakti. But if the Lord wants to do some pastime with his devotee and to teach the world a lesson, whom will he use? He will use his close associates, right? Sometimes a family may do drama. The father and son may do drama. One may become a villain, one may become hero, and like that, or two friends may do drama. So the Lord is teaching actually all of us through the example of his great devotee like Lord Shiva, that how powerful this attraction can be. So we should never feel that, oh, I am great. Oh, I can overcome lust. Oh, I don't get attracted to all these things. Oh, this is just for new people, I guess. So one should be very, very careful and always be on guard. Prabhupada said one time that some of his devotees, and that you are not sufficiently scared or afraid of the Maya Shakti. So we should be sufficiently or adequately kind of have a healthy fear that I am vulnerable, that I can slip down if I don't pay attention. So a healthy fear is required. It's not that, oh, I can go to any place and anywhere and just, oh, I am a nice pure devotee, nothing can happen to me. Oh, I chant round, so I am. No, we have to have a healthy fear, and because the desires to enjoy are present. We may have stopped the activities which are unfavorable for bhakti, but the desires to enjoy are still present in the seed form, and they will be present till the last breath. The moment they get the favorable environment, the seed will grow. Or we can say the moment they get unfavorable environment, they will grow in that unfavorable. The unfavorable desires will grow in the unfavorable environment. The favorable desire for bhakti will grow in the favorable environment. We have to always be supportive to the favorable desires and give favorable environment. And even the trace of unfavorable desires we see, or we see them growing, we should weed them out like a gardener weeds or removes the bad, so that they don't take the energy of the seeds or the good plant. That example comes many, many times. So back to any other comments or any additions anyone has? Let's read the next one, text 32. Would someone like to read? Yes, Shikamataji, please.
Hare Krishna Guruji. तस्यानुधावतो रेतश्च स्कन्धा मोघरेतसः शुष्मिनो यथा पस्येव वासितामनुधावतः. Could you please slide? Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Just as a maddened bull elephant follows a female elephant who is able to conceive pregnancy, Lord Shiva followed the beautiful woman and discharged semen, even though his discharge of semen never goes in vain. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, quite straightforward here. And since we're not talking about an ordinary person, we're talking about Lord Shiva. Sometimes some people, envious mentality, atheistic mentality, may say like this, say, look at Lord Shiva running behind women, etc. Then we should remind them, who was the one who drank the ocean of poison, halahal? Who was that? Who is the one who gives shelter to all the ghosts and goblins? Will anyone, Arun Bhandari Prabhu, will you accept a devotee who is in the body of ghosts? Will anyone accept as your guest who's in a ghostly body or a goblin body? So we'll pranam from distance. Please stay away. So no one accepts them. Lord Shiva accepts them. So Lord Shiva is Jagat Guru. Lord Shiva is very, very merciful. Lord Shiva is very, very compassionate. How he drank the ocean of poison, and therefore it's called Nilakanta. In his palms, he condensed that whole. So we should never think that we're talking about an ordinary person here. And we will see how his body's vital energy never goes in vain, because this is, and we should not waste this vital energy of the body. And it applies both to the vital energy of males and females also. This is the Sapta Dhatu actually. There are blood, mucus, bile, bone marrow, and then thumb semen actually. This is called the Sapta Dhatu. In the Brahmacharya and Krishna consciousness, it is mentioned 100 or 1,000 drops of blood make 1 drop of semen. So there's a book by His Holiness Danvir Goswami Maharaj who mentioned brain drain or brain gain. Brain gain is the book name. In short, if this is protected, this vital energy nourishes the brain, but if it is wasted, it will lead to brain drain. And that's why there is brain drain does not mean moving from one country to other. This is like losing one's intelligence, and therefore a lot of problems come. It's like so one should work with intelligence and not under the pressure of senses or let one's go which is meant for a higher purpose actually. So at least know what is expected. Who great souls, they're called Nashtika Brahmachari. That means they don't waste 1 drop of their vital energy of their body. And their brilliance, their intelligence, their purity, their bhakti, everything is remarkable. Hare Krishna. Are you able to hear? I think it's showing unstable connection all the time. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhu, now it's very clear. Thank you.
Okay. I don't know if parts of were missing, but anyways, we'll keep going. Okay, next verse, text 33. Anyone wants to read? Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I can read.
Yes, Mata.
Dandavat pranam to everyone. Hare Krishna. Text 33. Yatra yatra pata tamaha retas tasya mahatmanah tani rupasya he mancha kshetra jnanas sam mahipate. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O King, wherever on the surface of the globe fell the semen of the great personality of Lord Shiva, mines of gold and silver later appeared. Purport. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments that those who seek gold and silver can worship Lord Shiva for material opulences. Lord Shiva lives under a bale tree and does not even construct a house in which he dwells. But although he is apparently poverty stricken, his devotees are sometimes opulently endowed with the large quantities of silver and gold. Parikshit Maharaj later asked about this, and Shukdev Goswami replies. So this is the last text we are reading here about the Shukdev Goswami is explaining to the Parikshit Maharaj that how the conversation is happening now, and Lord Shiva is playing the very wonderful part here to teach all of us the way how we have to control the minds. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Prabhupada mentions a very interesting point in the purport. That the worshippers of Lord Shiva ask him, give me gold, give me silver. But Lord Shiva dwells in a very simple place. He does not have proper clothes, he doesn't wear, what's in the neck of Lord Shiva? golden necklace? Snake, that's his necklace. Interesting ornament. The body is covered with ashes. In Mount Kailash, the snow-covered mountains are at home. He does not have heater or hot water. Of course, ultimately he's the father of the world. Aham Bija Pradapita. That Aham Bija Pradapita refers to actually Lord Shiva there. He is a seed-giving father. So, but his followers are quite wealthy. Because ultimately Lord Shiva is called Ashutosh. If one asks for material desires to the Lord or the demigods, they will give it very easily. Why? That is called Sakapat Kripa. Sakapat means with kapat, with duplicity. Kapat means duplicity. So if someone has, Lord Shiva, I want gold, little offering some flowers, something. Lord Shiva, okay, you want gold, you get gold. Or you want a wife, you get wife. You want a son, you get son. You want a daughter, you want a husband, or you want a home, you get. But this is not the real kripa. The real kripa is Nishkapat kripa. The Nishkapat kripa is Vrindavaranya Rati Pradam. To give me the attraction towards Vrindavan Dham. To the service. That he may not give very easily. But the topmost wealth, Prema Pumartha Mahan, or the Bhakti. Any other comments, any other additions in this text?
Prabhuji, network was lost. So can you repeat last 2 or 3 lines?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Which point did you hear? Sakapat Kripa you heard?
Yes, Prabhuji. That if one desires, what is Nishkapat?
Yes, Nishkapat Kripa is Vrindavaranya Rati Pradam. We read that when we were talking about Lord Shiva. Vrindavaranya Rati. To give me attraction towards the devotees, to the service, to the holy name, to your pastimes, to the beautiful forms of the Lord. Please take my attraction away from this gold and silver. This will not really save me from the clutches of death. When the time of death comes, whether one has 1 gram of gold or 1 kilogram or 10 kilograms of gold, will that save me? Or 1 gold mine? But if one has attraction towards Vrindavan, towards Vaishnavas, towards Kṛṣṇa, towards holy name, that will certainly save one from the clutches of birth and death. Otherwise, if one has a gold mine, let's say, a very, very billionaire may have a gold mine or like kilograms of gold. What will happen? In his mind, her mind, the agitation about, oh, what will happen to my gold, what will happen? Oh, who will some of my friends will take me, the government will take it, the neighbors will take it, or my son will take it, or will they use it, will they misuse it, will they do it bad, wrong, all that. And that person may become a worm in that gold mine. Right? The famous story of Kailash, which we did a drama on that. So how Kailash was so attacked, became a snake in his own home, became a dog in his own home, and his very grandchildren killed him. So, but if one has attraction, so that's Nishkapat Kripa. That's the real mercy of devotees of the Supreme Lord. So we should not ask for gold and silver. That whatever is in one's destiny will come. And if it comes, then we should use it in his service, because ultimately it belongs to the Lord. One of the great devotee mentions when when we get more by the mercy of the Lord, or when our income increases, when our gold or silver increases, we should not raise the standard of living, we should raise the standard of giving. Nice. So that's about gold and silver. That's the real, that's a sakapat kripa. Nishkapat kripa is bhakti. Prema pumartha mahan. Prema bhakti. Anything else anyone has? Okay, let's read the next verse, text 34. This will be the last one for today. Anyone wants to read? Okay, Moksha Mataji, I guess, wants to read. Taran Prabhu also wants to read. So maybe one of you can read the verse in translation, one of you can read the purport then.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Sariksharasu shailesu vaneshu pavaneshu cha yatra kvasana rashras tatra shanihito hara. Translation and purport by H.G. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Shri Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Following Mohini, Lord Siva went everywhere near the shores of the rivers and lakes, near the mountain, near the forests, near the gardens, and everywhere there lived great sages. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur remarked that Mohinī-mūrti dragged Lord Siva to so many places, especially to where the great sages lived, to instruct the sages that their Lord Siva had become mad for a beautiful woman. Thus, although they were all great sages and saintly persons, they should not think themselves free, but should remain extremely cautious about beautiful women. No one should think himself liberated in the presence of a beautiful woman. The Shastra enjoined. Matra shashraduhitrava na vivikata shanu bhavan balavan indriyagramu vidva samapi karashati. One should not stay in a solitary place with a woman, even if she is his mother, sister, or daughter, for the senses are uncontrollably powerful, that in the presence of a woman, one may become agitated, even if he is very learned and advanced. Bhagavatam 9.19.17. Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You read very nicely today. Good job. So now Lord Shiva, now Mother, this Mohinī-mūrti, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, specially took or ran to the places where the great sages were present. And they were the followers of Lord Shiva. Imagine how they would think that, oh, our master, we all worship Lord Shiva, right? Because we all respect him as a great devotee, Vaishnavana Mitha Shambhu. So how would they feel that, well, and these are like our guru, right? Jagat Guru. He's the spiritual master of the whole world. He's the father of the whole world, and he is running after women. But the Lord wanted to teach, as we discussed. The Lord does this drama and along with his devotees to teach the world a lesson. And what is that lesson? Let's read the lesson very nicely again because it is so, so important. What's the lesson? One should remain extremely cautious about women, man for woman, woman for man, both about opposite sex in short, and should not think themselves free. Very, very important. Oh, we may think, well, I'm a sage now. Oh, I'm initiated devotee. Oh, I'm second initiated devotee. Oh, I've been reading Bhagavad Gita. Oh, I chant holy names. So now I'm free. Now I will not be affected by material desires of lust, anger, greed. No one should think himself liberated in the presence of beautiful women. So, in short, Maya is very strong. No one should think, oh, I am great soul now. I am a sage now. Sages, why did the Lord arrange this pastime? So that the sages could learn this lesson. So that all of us can learn that even Lord Shiva can be enamored and captivated by the energy of the Lord. If the Lord wants to, then hum kis khet ki boli? Who are we? So the point is, and here comes a verse in the Bhagavatam, that even Matra, Swarsha and Duhitrava, so even with mother, sister, daughter, etc., one should not be in a solitary place. Senses are so balwan indriya. They are so balwan. Vidvams. Vidvams means intelligent people. Those who are learned and advanced. They should also be very, very careful. What to speak of someone who is on the lower modes. So even though one may be, trying to control one's desires, etc., the as I said again and again, that the desire, the proclivity is there. So we should be very careful and cautious. Prabhupada is cautioning us very, very clearly here. Till the last breath of our life. Any other comments or questions anyone has? Any additions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna.
in South India, there is a, God Ayyappa. They actually, can you hear me, Prabhuji? Or maybe
Yes, yes. I
Can
can
you
hear
still?
you.
Okay. So even in Tampa also we have the temple, right? So, I heard that I'm not true, according to them, Ayyappa is the son of, Lord Shiva and Mohinī-mūrti. He was a, Karana incarnation to kill one demon. I think when Mahishashura was killed, I think his sister or someone took oath that, I want, and then she meditated and only told that only the son of Hari and Hara, only their son can be killed because she knows that both of them are males, and that's why this happened. But is there any thing that you are aware of, Prabhuji, this one regarding this?
I'm not aware of this. That doesn't mean that is true or false. It's just I don't know. If there is proper, you can ask if there is proper bona fide scriptures, the proper bona fide scriptures, refer it. And then, if yes, then yes. So, There could be pastimes, as we have discussed, which are not mentioned in the Bhagavatam sometimes, many times, because this is, but that does not mean it is wrong. But that does not mean that we accept anything which others may say. So we have to do our due diligence just to make sure that we accept the information from the right sources in the right shastras. So you can check with those devotees, and I can also try to look. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhupada. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else before we stop today? Yantraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Shri Mohinī-mūrti avatar ki jai, Shri Shiv Bhagwan ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Ancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.